Hey Cutler Bay, it's your Mayor Tim Mearbot here. I just wanted to give you a little update on what's going on with the Homeless Trust Initiative to acquire the Lucky. Now, Commissioner Danielle Cohen-Higgins filed an item to go ahead and directing the county to seek an alternative site within District 8 for the homeless shelter that they want to build. We just got out of the meeting. I was able to speak to the commission, pled our case. I basically just said this. We have not had any communication with the Homeless Trust with the exception of maybe one email where they said they were thinking about this. They haven't reached out to me. They haven't talked to the rest of the council about this. They haven't talked to the community about this. And I think that's very important. I want to thank Commissioner Cohen-Higgins for filing this item, move forward, and just slow down for a minute, make sure this is the best site for this, and give the public the opportunity to have their input. Thankfully, she argued for us very hard. She did mention that the site that they're purchasing, they're paying over $4 million over the asking price. The county wants to spend our tax dollars on a homeless shelter and overpaying for the price. We want to know why, we want to know what other sites were considered, and we're going to go ahead and work forward, sir. I just want to thank Cohen-Higgins again for filing this item and for her support that she's given Cutler Bay. We're going to continue to work on this together, but we need your help as well. We need to let your voices be heard. We need to continue to let Mayor Cava know what you feel about this. You need to let the other commissioners know what you feel about this. You need to ask your friends and neighbors to get involved as well. The best way to make a community move forward in a positive way is to have the involvement from everybody. That's what I'm asking from you right now, your involvement. Let's work together for what is best for Cutler Bay. As always, God bless America and God bless Cutler Bay.
Next item, Mr. Chair, is a resolution directing county mayor's designee to identify alternative locations and options within County Commission District 8 for the acquisition, construction, redevelopment, and/or rehabilitation of real property for homeless housing, and to prepare a written report within 60 days. Item 2A.
Item 2A. Commissioner, you're here on this. You recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have the pleasure of serving on your policy council, but I'm here to answer any questions that I may have. I think the item is pretty self-explanatory and equally simple. It simply requests that the administration do a deep dive and conduct due diligence to explore other options within District 8, to be clear, for locations for a potential project of this magnitude. So I'm here. Thank you for recognizing me, Mr. Chair, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to my colleagues for your comments and your questions, and I'm certainly happy to answer any additional questions that may arise here. I think it's first important to address some of the concerns that were raised by the chair of the Homeless Trust, and I really genuinely thank you for the incredible work that you do in our community to end homelessness. I know that that is a goal that is expressed by you and shared by all, including myself, and I want to thank the residents of Casa Mia for coming in and speaking today. Listen, this is not a conversation about supporting the end to homelessness. Let me be very clear and unequivocal in that statement that I support this effort wholeheartedly. And while we have parents that may have sat on the board of Homeless Trust, it's a completely different scenario when you were raised dead poor. So don't talk to me about stigmatizing homeless people, okay? I'm not interested in having that conversation. I fully support a homeless transitional housing space or a shelter or whatever the terminology is that the Homeless Trust wants to call this in District 8. This is a conversation about whether this is the right location for this endeavor. I agree, City of Miami is congested. Bring it to the South. We need this solution, but do we need it here? This is a conversation that affects residents in my district, and the very first community meeting that is taking place on this issue regarding timing is November 29th. It hasn't happened yet. There hasn't been one meeting regarding timing. There's no binding contract. Contracts were exchanged in September of 2023, a month ago. The timing on this is to be prudent, is to be diligent, and make sure that if we are going to spend $14 million of taxpayer money on the acquisition of a hotel, that it is in the right location. It's also incredibly diligent of us and fiscally responsible for us to explore why it is that we are paying $4 million over appraised value for this property when the Homeless Trust has never, and I repeat, never spent in excess of appraised value on any properties. So we are forking out an extra $4.4 million on this one property. Why? Why? District 8 is huge. There are tons of options here. I am perplexed as to why there is a fixation on this property. I am simply asking this board to do what the residents of District 8 are requesting and do due diligence to make sure that we are making the right decision with $14 million of our taxpayer dollars to spend money on the acquisition of this very important property. And when we identify a property, when we find a property, I will be the first person in line cutting a ribbon and celebrating options for our transitioning community, our homeless community, and embrace everything that the Homeless Trust represents. Again, I ask for your support. This in no way delays the process of whatever it is that the Homeless Trust would like to do. That is ripe now. There are no binding contracts. Contracts have not been executed by both parties, and that contract was just presented to the seller 1 month ago. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. 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 Those opposed? Show it passing. Thank you. Call the next item.